what, the Europeans may not have won COD champs, but we're ready to turn up this year with how much international competition there's going to be. They will have many opportunities to prove that Europe is the best region in Call of Duty.
You know, you talked about this map in particular, Jack, earlier, about taking gambles. We saw Aqua go 10-0, but the man of the match earlier we saw Rise play was Felony. He got almost every single first blood.
Yeah.
He was being super, super aggressive with high wall runs across middle, just really attacking in a big way. You want to check Clay out?
Yeah, look what Clay's got.
He's nice with it. He's nice with it.
He's ready. He's wanting to make an impact in this game, and it's going to start with the sniper, but Zero.
That
the NV4, the AR with the range in its favor, strikes that first blood, and now look at your minimap all the way in the top left corner. That's going to be Urban, playing it a little bit more sneaky. Do they expect this pressure to come in? Not entirely sure. Does clean up one.
And I thought the flank was going to get flanked there for a second,
right.
but doesn't end up picking it up. Now it's going to be Attach in a 1v3. Attach, one of the better S&D players in the world, but they seem to know right where he's positioned. Gets gun up, but not in time. Orbit taking round one.
Beautifully done. That first challenge, the confidence from Zero to say, you know what? If you're going to hit that shot, go ahead, because I'm going to hit mine with this NV4. Clay goes for it, unfortunately doesn't hit it, and in the end, will get first blooded there. 1-0 round lead now for Orbit.
Okay, let's get over to Orbit now, who's going to be on offense. We'll kick things off with Urban. 2-0 to start. You know, he's going to be running rewind propulsion so frequently. His movement has been absolutely insane. Clayster's going to get pushed. They know you want to snipe. They're coming for you, buddy. He's able to back away. Maybe a bit of a bait and switch if they can work together here. They've got players top bridge.
Look at how frantic this round is.
But God, they're just soaring at them.
Look at how they're just rushing up the middle of the map in Faze. They're trying to collapse on it, but there's so much pressure that it's almost too late. Thankfully, Attach and Enable both win one-on-one engagements. Does Attach get out with his life? No, so that's going to leave Enable in the 1 versus 2.
Enable should be in a 1 versus 1 now, but he can't get away. Tagged in the back. Very good trading by Orbit, as they now take a 2-0 lead, getting a shot of Zero there, getting the crew hyped up.
And this is what we've seen a few times from the European teams. There was a couple rounds in particular earlier this weekend on Throwback Search and Destroy where they literally just sprinted out of middle with 4 players, went towards top train, and just engaged whoever was in front of them. And they do it again here. They know, hey, if you're going to try to snipe, we are going to make sure there are many targets you have to hit at once. And unfortunately, that is not a thing with the sniper in this game where you could shoot 3 different bullets at once.
Well, unless you're Pac-Man.
That is true.
Saw with that 3-piece yesterday. That was sick stuff. Now it is going to be an aggressive early hit from the side of Faze. They pick up 2. It's going to be on Urban and Zero to try and clutch up a 2v4. May get vision on 1 here. Urban goes up over the top. 1, 2. Able. No, he doesn't actually stop the bomb. I thought he got 1 kill at least. Now it's all.
There you go.
On the sole player from Orbit, but that's 4 up, 4 down. That's a big round win for Faze.
That's the round that Faze needed. They get 4 up, 4 dead. They stop any streaks that were coming into play, and they get some confidence back. We talked about how they're already down 0-1 in this series. This will be a best of 5 for the grand final. Rated, looking cool, calm, and collected. Zuma the same as Faze down 2-1 on this map too. Let's see where they try to bring it now on defense.
Okay, let's start off with Rated.
So this is what we were talking about earlier, where if you are going to go ahead and make this play, you need to go on the sneakier push.
Show the lone defender, which is going to be Clayster.
Yeah, and they're going to push all the way through A on the top of your minimap, so they know that this is a B pressure. Clay can't get 1 though, so that will be first blood for Orbit, and that should open up the site to get this objective planted. And
now it's quickly going to be into a 2v4. Able to pick up 1 kill at least is Zuma. He's got to go big because his teammate's getting pushed. Enable drops, and now it's a 1v3, and that's all. I mean, Clay kind of has to get a kill, 2 or a kill on the way with his life. He has to get something there.
The big thing there, too, is if you watch your minimap, the player that was flanking all the way through the spawn, he knew he had an opportunity to pinch, and he wins a one-on-one engagement. So Orbit have 2 ideas, right? They can do 2 things. One, they could try to play another 1v1 and win the gunfight, or they could push out that back rock area to make it a 3v1. If you watch their arrows on the minimap,
they flew
at him, took him out, eliminated that threat, and knew the only other player was coming from that B wall run. Beautifully executed. Orbit in full command of this game.
Well, let's see if Faze can get something going here on offense. Kind of stacked up at A, but the pressure is going to come in. It's going to be through mid here. You see a lot of blue arrows starting to flank around. Look at them just surrounding the room here. This is going to be a big engagement. Should be for Zuma. He's got 2 in the back, has a nade out, trying to get shots in. He can't chase here. If he chases, he's going to get caught. It's Clayster going beneath, trying to find a kill, but the first blood is going to go to Zero, Jack.
Nicely done, and now look at how this is developed. Look at your map. Somehow they get behind the Faze players. Thankfully, Attach picks up on it and is able to get 1 before he's traded on out. Number advantage back over to Orbit. no, Zuma with his teammate and Urban and Joe, again, they just move together. They stay active on the map, and now FaZe will have to do the same.
Well, they are able to grab the bomb. See if they decide to play it towards A. You see both players here from Orbit kind of stacked out backside A so they can collapse quickly if needed. Bomb is going to get planted. Let's check the timing here. Urban wants to go check. He's going to fly in. Might be able to catch him. There he is. Got him. One more left mid. Hall. Urban shots a little bit off. Now going to be a 1v1. Let's get over to Joe. It's him versus Clayster. Trying to chase. Saw him to the bottom right. Clayster dead to right. Surely not able to turn and burn. Joe gets it 5-1. 2 kills in a row and a defused add to his name.
5-1 now, and and this is, he's saying hello. He forgot something, went to go pick it back up off the ground.
That's all it was.
Yeah, and now he'll go ahead, defuse this bomb, put his team at even a larger advantage now, 4-1.
I would love to get some bad blood.
Oh, we need these rivalries, man.
Yeah,
E versus NA is good enough, but
exactly,
now
that's what I need.
This is getting juicy, man. This is like a well-cooked steak.
When was the last time you had a well-cooked steak?
Look at the size of me, Clint. Probably a couple days ago.
You strike me as a guy that goes to a fancy restaurant and orders chicken fingers.
That's you that you're talking about.
That is.
That's, we head now into round 6 with FaZe. They've tried some aggressive plays, and half the time it's worked, half the time it hasn't. Orbit, though, they have been a unit through this whole map.
Here we go again.
And they're ready. Look, FaZe are now adapting. This was the same strategy as earlier. FaZe took a little bit longer to rotate, and Clay got caught by himself. This time around, no, they have bodies on the site, and a beautiful flechette grenade stops the first plant, stops the second plant. Nicely done by FaZe, the exact round that they needed. They're up 4-1 now in the number advantage.
That was beautiful. I mean, that's exactly what you needed to do.
Yes.
And that's adapting at its finest, right? You saw how it went. You get the timing in your head. You know when you have to rotate over. It was so quick, and both those nades ended up picking kills on bomb planters, right? Both right around the site.
Yep. And I will say, FaZe, it's great that they've done that, but the 2 rounds they've won, if you think about it, have been complete 4-0 number sweeps.
Yeah.
And it's because they've had 2 really good counters to the play that they were experiencing from Orbit. The issue is they're now still down by 2 rounds in this series, and they've got to figure out what they can now do on the offensive side to bring them back within 1.
All right, well, now it looks to be
so they're going to go back with what worked the first time they won around.
And let's see how the defense works. Remember how they tried to surround them last time from Orbit, get in from all sides? This time they're playing a little bit more passive in the back. You can see they have like a kind of a backline defense.
See, and
are they baiting someone from FaZe?
Look at how worried
out?
Enable is. Like, Enable is so worried to plant that FaZe, they're just deciding we've got to do something else before we can get this objective down. 3 versus 3. A quick trade on in. Attached for a second, looked at the same area as his teammate, and now Orbit, you see the blue arrows maneuvering around the map, and FaZe will do the same. They do not feel comfortable anymore. They spent too much time at this site, and I actually agree with this play.
So they end up going to wrap it out. Now let's take a look. All 3 members from each side pretty much sticking together here. Let's see if they try to get the bomb down. Let's go over to Enable. Yeah, so he is going to work on getting it planted, and now you'll quickly see the collapse develop on the minimap as they're going to begin to work their way over. Let's go over to Urban. He's going to be the first to likely engage here as he's trying to find an angle. He has not been spotted yet, I don't believe. There he is. He's got spotted. It's going to be down to 0 and Joe making 0 alone. He's got a chance to clutch here in a 1v2. He does have FTL jump to work with as well. Spots 1, can't win the gunfight, might get pressured here. He's got to, if he can just find 1, he gets pushed and dropped. FaZe battling back in. Enable
was the hero of that round. On the site by himself, I could hear him through my headset. Gets that first kill, goes, there's a guy wall run, the guy wall run, turns and immediately beams onto the second guy. Even gets the third here in the kill cam as well. Beautiful round from Enable as FaZe are now back within 1, keeping this one close.
Let's see how close Enable is towards getting some streaks. He's 7-4. He's 150 off of that Trinity rocket. He's also got camo to work with. So Enable may be the one to have a big round here to bring things back. And also if he's able to get some streaks, that'd be huge.
So again, Orbit immediately pushing towards the one area of the map, and FaZe, they're ready for it. But what do Orbit do to adapt this time? What do they change up? Because last time they got slaughtered on the site. This time around, they're going to say, you know what, let's challenge the back rock. That's how they change it up. You saw everybody from FaZe cooking their grenades, and Orbit knew that they could bake those out.
That was perfect. That was
beautifully done. The objective now planted, and there is no longer any tacticals to work with on the side of FaZe.
Even 2 players had to have been caught with their pants down there.
They did.
Nades in hand, trying to nade the site. They just flew at them. That was beautifully done. But can Attach and Zuma go big? One of them has to find a kill to open up and tie it up. There it is, 2 versus 2 now. Both players left up for FaZe. The pressure incoming, 25 seconds left. It's not going to be 1v2 for Attach. Can he find 1? He knows he's getting flanked. There he's able to make it a 1v1. 19 seconds to work with. Attach knows he's behind the box. Going to challenge. Goes up high! Wins it with the melee!
God! Momentum swing of a round right there by Attach. 3 kills to his name. We'll see the dramatic moments again in the final kill cam. Enable. What a play by that team as they wind up clutching it up. Attach takes matters into his own hands, literally, as he realizes, uh-oh, let me clean that one on up. Wow, I could literally feel everybody in the venue just hold their breath for a moment as he ran in for that melee. 4-4, and now FaZe are back in this game.
So you got to think that's got to give you some kind of momentum here. You still have Camo to work with on Enable, remember, and Attach is fired up. Clay's getting hyped, and now comes the push from FaZe. They're going to be working on offense. Looks like they're going to take some notes from the Orbit script here as they're going to opt to go towards A.
How do they try to do this? Where do the payloads come into play now? Because both teams used Rewind, so yeah, they will engage with this camo. I actually completely agree with this. Use it on offense. Give your team the first round lead of this game. They will plant the objective as well, and now Enable can hold this easy angle on the side door.
And you've got Attach watching the flank as well, so you should be good there. As it looks like Urban's going to be hitting it. Attach just spotted him, so Attach should have an easy kill here as well, as long as he can find it.
They're gonna hit this out. They're gonna hit this out. It's exactly what they need to do. Beautiful stuff. Zero gets cut down, and now FaZe with, 4 straight rounds in this game have themselves a 5-4 lead as they look to tie up the series.
What was the biggest deficit they had? 4-1?
I think it was 4-1.
Wow.
I love the use of camo there. Don't save it. Just use it for your team. Get the round advantage. Now they're going back to defense, where they've been successfully rotating quickly, adapting to what Orbit throw at them. And now I'm interested to see how Orbit play this, because they've been going B and it has not been working, and yeah, they're going to decide that that would not be the right decision.
Well, this is going to be, it looks like a more standard hit of A. Now let's see how they play this. Let's go look at the vision here for Rated. Is he's just trying to get eyes over that mid lane as you push towards the bomb. Pretty static, passive defense coming in from FaZe thus far. They're playing it very, very slow. Now, what do you have to work with? So you've got Overdrive here for Clay, which may not really come into play, but we did see him clutch a 1v3 with it. Zero still has FTL jump, so nothing major, I guess, nothing game-changing.
The one thing that can really help FaZe here is that they do have the Overdrive on Clay to rotate quicker if needed.
That's
but
true.
right now, they're looking for a pick. Both teams playing for a pick. They're not changing up where they're currently sat at. But remember, Orbit are on offense, so they're going to have to be the ones to engage, and I do believe that's going to happen now. Zuma with first blood. The challenge comes in from you. It's Joe that trades it on out. Urban trying to stay alive as shots are being peppered in towards him. He's going to back out with his life. So the first engagement goes down, and it's even at 1-1.
And look how close Zuma is going to be to that reactive armor. This could come into play if he needs it for round 11, or it could be right here as he's going to find a kill. Has to work with as well. Now it's going to be Joe all by his lonesome. It is done.
Right back in it. Ooh!
Oh, my.
He's yelling at him now. Heads are turning in the PlayStation experience.
I don't know if that's coming through the mics.
He yelled and said,
up.
Rated, you look great today. You smell good, my friend.
That's all I heard.
Rated said, thank you. That was actually what we heard for our 12-years out there in the
God.
Nothing bad at all, I promise. It's just all friendly stuff. As now we'll go ahead and go into Game 3 in Uplink with an even series, folks. This one can go the distance. Oh, Attach just yelled at turned to me and said, 1v1s, I don't lose them. Dylan, I wasn't even addressing him. He just felt the need to tell me that.
That was a 1v2.
Thank you for telling me that.
All right, I'm switching sides. I'm good to go there. I remember it for the first time in basically ever. But, wow, so this could have been a 2-0 series lead in the best of 5 for Orbit.
Yeah.
Clutch plays. I mean, God, okay, it was 2 things for me.
Yep.
One, it was obviously Attach, well, 3 things. Let's go with Enable's big play, have the 3-piece, remember, towards the B-bomb set when he goes big.
Yeah.
Attach had the 1v2, and then it was FaZe overall, how they adjusted. A couple of the rounds we saw, they adjusted to what Orbit did and just 4 up, 4 down, smashed them the following round. It was beautiful, man.
It was 2 different maps right there. The first 5 rounds and then the last 5 rounds where FaZe just immediately turned up. Once they started adapting on defense and recognizing where Orbit were showing their strategies is when they turned out best. And really what it came down to was Zuma and Attach, who were inside that A site, would peek on through you, would peek on through that mid-tunnel.
Yeah.
Wouldn't see anything, and would immediately go, let's rotate. And Orbit tried to play mind games with them in that final round and hide in corners and wait for them to push through. But Clayster, using his tacticals, played a little bit more aggressive at B, spotted nothing and said, guys, just keep holding that angle. It will work out. And that's exactly what happened. And now we find ourselves tied 1-1 going into Uplink. And what map will we be playing for Uplink? I do believe it's Precinct.
Yes.
I answered my own question.
I still attempt to read Mud Dog's handwriting. Thank you, Mud Dog.
Yeah, that was brilliant stuff.
But Precinct. All right, so as we get into this, we know this is one of the Well, the only uplink that's not as 50-50 and one that you need to really punish from a certain side, you need to get points up when you're sparring towards garden apartment side, you're pushing towards gas, you have to get some points on the board there. Who do you think's been the more impressive uplink team for you thus far this weekend between these two? They've both been solid.
Yeah, that's a tough one to answer. Both of these teams have looked quite good. I mean, on a map like this, for me, it comes down to recognizing a lot of it comes down to counterplay, right? Where it's, okay, you give up your base, knowing to rotate towards the new drone, grab it, and immediately get to those advantageous positions.
Well, that's what we saw Orbit do actually really well in the first series I casted versus EG.
Yeah.
When they were actually putting up a lot of points from the less preferred side, when they grab it and counter. They wouldn't wait for the other team to set up. It'd be 1 or 2 players live, they grab it and go, and just get a 1 or 2 pointer and roll.